Funding for This Is Nashville comes from you, our listeners, and Music City Prep Clinic, Nashville-based provider for PrEP and offering comprehensive sexual health services in an environment designed to be safe, professional, and shame-free. Learn more at musiccityprep.org.
I'm Blake Farmer, and this is Nashville. Today, we are diving headlong into the seventh art, film, a combination of the six other arts, and how film is shaping communities across Tennessee, especially right here in the Nashville area, Davidson County, and beyond. From network series like 911 Nashville to a growing indie scene, film production is bringing opportunity, talent, and visibility to the region. Also, we've been getting into video. We're streaming today's episode on YouTube if you'd like to watch. I mean, we almost couldn't not be streaming today when we're talking about film, but it's at youtube.com/@WPLN. Joining us on camera here and on mic to talk about where we are and where we're headed are three people with their fingers on the pulse. Bob Raines, director of the Tennessee Entertainment Commission, Hisela Moore, project manager with that commission, and Lauren Thielen, director of programming at the Nashville Film Festival. Thank you all for making time for This Is Nashville.
Thank you.
All right, so Bob, let's start with where we are as a state, the economic impact of film productions in Tennessee. I think the number is it's grown by about 40% over the last 5 years or so, but it kind of masks a lot of ups and downs, right? There was the pandemic, then the writer strikes. What's been the biggest hurdle to this bounce back period we're in?
Yeah, no, I think, when we came out of the pandemic, a lot of production had stopped, slowed down, and then we sort of got hit again with the strikes in 2023. And we thought going into 2024, right, that, we were going to bounce back pretty fast, but it ended up taking a long time, or a longer time than we thought, to actually bring production back. And a lot of production had stopped as far as stuff in the pipeline, that was once in the pipeline had gotten shifted. A lot of stuff had moved out of the United States and moved over to the UK and some of the other places around, globally. And so we were a little surprised, as we were sort of coming, in the middle of 2024. But I will say, as we got into the fourth quarter of 2024 and going into 2025, we really hit this great stride where we ended up with a great TV series called Scarpetta with Nicole Kidman that ended up filming here. That was a very high impact production, hundreds and hundreds of jobs created on time with that. And then on the back of that, we ended up with 911 Nashville, which is going to premiere on ABC. So we ended up with these two TV series coming back to back. And if you do what we do at the commission, the one thing that we love having TV series in the state of Tennessee, because that's great for workforce development. Those are long-term jobs, and they're good, high-quality jobs. Well,
and it's been a while since Nashville, the TV show, I guess was stopped filming in town. Was that 2018 or something? I mean,
yeah.
So we'd been in a stretch where there wasn't a big show that was, at least here in Middle Tennessee, shooting.
Yeah, in Middle Tennessee, yes. Now, across the state, we ended up doing, we had an NBC TV series that filmed here called Young Rock, which was done in Memphis. And so we were still having some series work, but a lot of independent productions really came in, to our ethos.
Yeah.
A lot of that just because it's a little easier to film here in Tennessee. It's not as crowded, for independent films to be here than it is to film like in Los Angeles or New York or maybe some of the bigger markets.
Well, let's talk about what that looks like. Hisela, what kind of support does the Entertainment Commission offer for filmmakers, big or small, when they're looking to produce here?
Whether they're low budget or $1 million projects, we assist them with the locations library. We have about 2,000 locations that filmmakers can select from.
Really? Are they divided up by the kind of why they would be good for this or that?
Could be mansion, estate, or a business, farmer's market, whatever you need.
So you've been with the commission, 20 years? Is this just like a directory that you've developed over time?
Well, I didn't develop it, but it's a team effort over the years. And really, you can list your home. Blake, if you want to put your home in there, And somebody,
Yes, Blake, would you like to be in our directory?
I think that's gonna make my wife upset, but I do. My neighbor growing up on Russell Street in East Nashville was, I think it was like the mayor's house in the Nashville TV show, Blue House on Russell Street. So I guess that maybe they got in your directory, and there you go.
That's right.
So you're saying you find them a house, a farm, a small town to be in. What do you do to help kind of make that possible?
we put out that we're looking for locations. And so anyone can list their home or their business, or honestly, junkyards are welcome, and mobile home parks.
Wow.
Most of the time, it's not a big old mansion or estate that someone's looking for.
And obviously there's
film.
compensation involved from the production, correct? Well, and so like most recently, there's a production we're going to talk about in the next segment that I guess was looking for a hospital. So they're looking for a hospital to shoot in. What do you give them?
I gave them Nashville State Community College.
Doesn't sound like a hospital.
But they have a new health science center, and it's brand new equipment. They have a nurse's station, emergency rooms, a nurse's desk, everything. It was just perfect. So
and it was a state institution, I guess. So you're giving back.
Exactly.
If you are just joining us and thinking, what on earth are they talking about? I'm Blake Farmer. This is Nashville. We're talking film in Tennessee with the Film Commission and the Nashville Film Festival. We're also streaming on YouTube. It's at Nashville Public Radio's YouTube page. You should be able to find it without too much trouble. Lauren, sorry to make you wait here, but Lauren Thielen with the Film Commission, who was maybe light on sleep last night because they dropped their big program for the film festival and what it's featuring this year. First of all, it looks like a good lineup. I'm no expert, but can you tell us, how do you all handle featuring locally produced films?
Yeah. It was a big feat, but we are here today. Everything's out there. We still have, more announcements to come and some exciting things coming up, but this is the bulk of our lineup. We take great pride in uplifting local filmmakers, local projects. We have a great Tennessee feature section. Among them, some of the titles that come to mind, we have the Opryland USA, a Circle Broken.
And that was Brandon Vestal,
yes.
the filmmaker, was on the show a couple weeks ago. We had an whole episode about Opryland and missing Opryland, and we had way too many phone calls to even handle. So I'm sure there will be great interest in this film.
Yeah, we're excited, and it's truly a great lineup of features this year, all very diverse and different and tackling different subjects. It's really quite amazing how just vast the talent is here in Nashville, and we're super happy to be, a part of that platform that they can showcase their work.
For your Tennessee connections, I was just taking a look at like the features there. A couple of them have kind of musical connections. One, I think, was looking at a singer-songwriter breaking through called The Easy Kind.
Yes.
There's also the celebration of John Prine called, my script says Prince, which is, that's a typo, John Prine, called You've Got Gold. How much overlap do you usually see between kind of the music side of Nashville and films that are produced here?
Yeah, we see a ton of overlap, and I think that's what is unique about our festival and what sets Nashville apart is that we have such a rich musical history in the town. And so there's a great intersection of film and music within our festival. And I really do think it sets us apart. So films like that you just mentioned, the John Prine film, as well as The Easy Kind featuring Elizabeth Cook. There's always a lot of music inserted into our program.
Is there any kind of synergy? Obviously a film festival and folks who are trying to help filmmakers shoot in Tennessee are two very different things. But is there any synergy, crossover, overlap that you all are kind of drawing from the same, energy?
Yeah. Bob and Yusela, feel free to jump in, but we do communicate and work together throughout the year. We have a great program during the festival. It's like a 3-day conference. It's called a Creators Conference, and we definitely work with Bob Nizdela to, get panelists for it. Consult on the subjects that we go over. We're having an AI panel, a producers panel, a talent agents panel, an entertainment law panel. So, we definitely work together to kind of talk about those things. And, we're always open to suggestions of like, what does the community really want? What are they in need of? But yeah, right? Am I?
No. And I think that's exactly right. I mean, we have so much creative talent here, and the Creative Conference, it does a great job in helping people network with one another, right?
Yes.
Because you're bringing all of sort of very broad spectrum of people across the entertainment industry. You're bringing them into the conference, and they're all getting to meet with one another and talk and mingle. And a lot of the time, that's where these great ideas are born out of, is when you get these creatives together and you get them in one place and they're able to talk and sort of, get to those next steps. And so, the festival is such a valuable asset to just our filmmaker culture here, because when you're a filmmaker, the film festival can sometimes be the first time that you've ever got to showcase, anything that you've done. And the way filmmaking works is that you showcase what you do. If you're great, then that sort of elevates you to the next thing. And then it elevates you to the next, So having those film festivals here is just so valuable.
Well, and we'll hear some of those stories from the producers in our next segment. A couple of folks commenting on the YouTube stream. Again, you can watch it, the Nashville Public Radio YouTube channel. But Miguel says, you'd think with some of the wilderness settings in the state that there'd be a lot of horror films made here. Is that, Isela, is that something we see, people looking for some scary woods to shoot in?
Absolutely.
Where are you going to, if I'm coming in looking, where are you going to take me first around kind of near the Nashville area?
We have 140 state park and natural areas across the state of Tennessee. Plenty of woods for a killer to come out and just chop you up.
Is it really easier to work in state parks than, somebody who's just got a farm with some woods? Really?
Yes. I work with the Department of Environment and Conservation, and they can turn around contracts with me really quickly. So
I see.
Yes.
So you're like, listen, I know the people. I can get this done.
Yes.
Bob, what about? Someone asks about there's some sort of stinger that's on something that says like "Made in Georgia," and obviously I think Georgia's probably a little farther down the road with film than Tennessee. Is there any contemplation of having some kind of like "Made in Tennessee" stamp for films that are shot here?
We have that. So
you already have it.
Yeah, we have that. Filmed in Tennessee. That's what gets put on the end of all the films that are done here in the state of Tennessee that we incentivize.
And is that? Oh, I see. So if they've gotten state incentives. How often are you all using actual like cash incentives to get a production? Does it have to be a pretty big budget to start that conversation?
Yeah, typically we're going to see, productions that are coming over $500,000, $1 million that are going to come in and want to use the grant program.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's mostly bigger productions that are going to utilize it.
Well, let's turn back to one of the big budgets in town right now, 911 Nashville, which actually I didn't know was a thing until I saw a weird like Friday afternoon press release from the Metro Police Department warning people that is there's going to be a car on top of like the Korean Veterans Bridge. Don't worry, it's just an action scene from a tornado that rips through downtown or something like that. But with shows like that, you were talking about it producing good jobs. And what do you mean by that? Why is it such a big impact in terms of job creation?
Yeah, so when you have a TV series come in, they're like for 911. They're hiring 600 plus.
600?
Yeah, plus Tennesseans.
And what kind of job? Because you're talking about catering. You're talking about hair and makeup. What else?
Transportation. Think about the logistics.
Just getting people where they need to be.
Oh gosh, yeah. If you looked at Korean Veterans Bridge when they were hanging the Airstream over it.
It was an Airstream trailer. That's right.
Yeah, it was an Airstream. If you looked on that bridge, you would see hundreds and hundreds of people and trucks and everything spread out, to make that one scene. And so, At the end of the credits, which I know a lot of people don't stay, right, for the end of the credits.
I guess I'm guilty, I must be.
Yeah, you think of all those names rolling, right, at the end of those credits. Hundreds and hundreds of people, and they're high-quality jobs. And I think that's really important, that these are high-quality jobs. They're transferable jobs, meaning people working in transportation, electric, grip, lighting, they can come from other areas, even construction, in their transferable jobs over to film and television.
They don't have to make a career in film to work on this project.
You don't have to. It's again, those are transferable.
Yeah. Hisela, are there parts of Tennessee right now that are especially film friendly? Like, this small town or this, community is really open to this?
Carthage, Hohenwald.
Really? We just had the Elephant Sanctuary folks on yesterday.
Yes, I heard that. It was great. The mayor, Mayor McKnight, he's
in
Hohenwald. He's searching. He wants a production there bad, so he's open to it. And I'd say Memphis is great. They will welcome any production that comes in. They'll just they even create it. Like sometimes they'll create like a drink or something over a production. They just make them feel at home.
I see.
And Knoxville and Chattanooga as well. They're very film friendly. The movie 42 filmed in Chattanooga. Ingalls Stadium was every single stadium in that movie.
Really?
Yeah. And then they'll welcome them in, and whatever they need, they'll take care of them.
A lot of filming in Columbia.
As you're right.
A lot of filming in Columbia, Murray
and
County,
Franklin.
and Franklin, yes. A lot of filming.
Tell me, Lauren, when you're talking, folks who are kind of trying out the film festival circuit, what did those kind of filmmakers need, in terms of like support when they're trying to get a project going?
Yeah, I guess, are you kind of referring to like what Yusela and Bob are doing as far as incentives and location?
What we're talking about is probably not folks that are going to, be featured on the sort of like Tennessee list of projects, though maybe they would be. I just wonder at folks who are trying to get something into the, get noticed on the film festival circuit, what kind of support are they in need of, whether that's from an entertainment commission or otherwise?
Yeah, I think just, by having a project and submitting it and putting it out there, that's kind of like the first step. I'd say gathering a large community around your project to, give it life and make it known, that's definitely something. But, it's not easy to get a film into a film festival. I think Bob and Yusela know that as well. We receive, thousands, close to 4,000 film entries that we're sorting through, for 6 months out of the year. And so, hopefully I'm answering your question. I feel like I'm not really understanding.
You are answering the question, okay. And not all questions are good questions. You have to remember that too.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. We need to take our first break. Lauren Thielen of the Nashville Film Festival, Bob Rains and Hisela Moore from the Tennessee Entertainment Commission. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. When we return, we're zooming in on local independent producers working right here in Music City. So stay with us. This is Nashville.
Funding for This is Nashville comes from you, our listeners, and Music City Prep Clinic, Nashville-based provider for PrEP and offering comprehensive sexual health services in an environment designed to be safe, professional, and shame-free. Learn more at musiccityprep.org.
I'm Blake Farmer, and this is Nashville. So in our last segment, we got the big picture, the view of filmmaking in Tennessee. Now we're kind of bringing it more down to the ground level with independent producers who are creating films right here in the city. And, it's kind of a big day for everyone in here. We're thrilled to have with us Carrie and Gus Romero and Steve Taylor. All three are film producers working in Nashville. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes, and it's a busy day for several reasons. Steve, you start.
Yes, Sketch, the movie that I produced for writer-director Seth Worley, comes out today in like 2,000 screens across the country.
So if you can believe it, I just shook Steve's hand for the first time about 30 seconds ago because he's kind of busy today. All right, so what about for the Romeros? What you been doing the last 24 hours?
Oh, my goodness. We wrapped our first film, The Heartbreak, yesterday morning at 5 a.m. And then 14 hours later, we had a wrap party with our cast and crew, and that wrapped this morning at 2 a.m. So we've been a little busy.
Well, yeah, but you look awake and alive, and you're here.
We're so grateful to be here.
Now, why was Heartbreak? Why were you wrapping a movie at 5 in the morning?
Well, we had to get a really magical scene, and it required the magic of the middle of the night. That's what we'll keep the mystery of.
Well, one reason is it was actually the last scene of the movie that we shot on the last day as the last scene. So
yeah, the martini shot.
Yeah, the
is
martini
what they call
shot.
it.
Yeah, so
wow, you're saying that's a term for the last scene of a movie when you're shooting.
Last
it's called
scene of the day.
The last scene of the day is the
and
martini.
then it happened to be the last scene of the film.
of the
as
film,
well.
yeah, which I guess isn't typical.
Well, tell me about this project that y'all are working on because it sounds like it was on a tight schedule.
We started filming July 16th, and we filmed in 16 days. We were on 5, we were off 2, on 5, off 2, and then we had 6 days of production straight up until yesterday morning.
Wow. And tell me about this film and where it came from. Gus, that's for you.
Okay. So it's based on real events from our life.
Yeah.
My wife, Carrie, is a sudden cardiac arrest survivor and an AED advocate. So she's a huge inspiration to me. And so we wanted to entertain and educate at the same time. And we thought, what better way than through a movie? So I rewrote the original story in December of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we worked with a couple of friends of ours, Lance Smith and Chuck Fusca.
Our director and executive producers.
Right.
With Marco Box Studios.
Marco Box, thank you. And then we sent them the story, and then they loved it, and they put this script together in
2.5 months.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tight timeline. I mean, people talk about working on years for a production like that. So then they said, we'd like to have this thing by Christmas, so get on it?
Kind of, yeah. And we were like, okay, this is great. We'll just make a small independent, film. And but the script somehow got in the hands of
Beverly D'Angelo, Christmas icon.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Christmas movie, the queen of Christmas movies.
Well, yes. So Christmas doesn't play a prominent part of it. It has Christmas in it.
But
It's
it just
almost
has
like
the
Christmas.
vibe. People know the vibe of a Christmas movie.
For sure. But it also deals with very real situations, very real family dynamics, but also to our lead character. Her name is Julia, and she's a sudden cardiac arrest survivor. So that's part of what was inspired in the film. And this, to our knowledge, and we've done a lot of research, this is the first film about a sudden cardiac arrest survivor.
Wow. Well, and we'll talk more about it, but
Yes.
where would people see this film when it comes out?
Well, that is to be determined, but we are going to be going into edits. We actually have a very unusual process. We had an editor on site, and shout out to our editor, Q, and our producer, one of our producers. But the film was edited as we went, and so it's about halfway done with the first round of edits, and they will be taking that back to Florida to continue and working with some editors in LA. We have been told that it will be finished in the very beginning of October.
Wow. Where did you all shoot primarily?
We were filming in Leapers Fork, in Thompson Station, East Nashville, and 2 different locations here in Nashville.
And it sounds like the Entertainment Commission kind of helped out with some of that?
Oh, yes. Actually, Yisela Moore, she was one of the catalysts for getting us into one of our locations at Nashville State Community College. And it could not have been more perfect of a location. All of our locations were just phenomenal.
Well, Steve Taylor, talk to us about Sketch. Where did you guys shoot?
We shot at a house in Westmead for about 3 weeks, and then we shot out to Ashland City at a pond and a old summer camp. and then a few other locations, the inside of a school bus for about a week.
The inside of a school bus. Now, how do you find the inside of a school bus? Did Isela help you out with that as well?
We actually had to buy an old school bus that turned out to not have reverse on it, so that had caused some problems as well.
All right, and the camp in Ashland City, because I'm sure people know of it's not Leatherwood, is it?
No, it's been abandoned.
Oh, it's that old.
Yeah, it's really old. So,
so how did you all decide to shoot here? I mean, you live and work here.
Yes.
Is it just convenience?
This is my fourth movie to produce in Nashville. The first two I directed, and then my friends Coke Sams and Clark Gallivan produced with me on those, and then the last two I produced. I love working in Nashville. Every movie that I've done is shot all or part in Nashville, and I am able to convince people that it's better to shoot here, even if maybe the incentives aren't as big as Georgia, because we know the crew and we know we can get things done faster and better. And so if it's a trade-off, it's always worth it.
Yeah. Well, how the trade-off is what? That are there the experts that will be available? Are there enough of them around a pool? Like, what does it really mean when people talk about that talent pool?
Yes. Well, when we shot Sketch, I think there were 7 other movies that were being shot in and around Nashville at the same time. So the fact that Nashville could provide that level of crew to that many movies is telling of what we're capable of.
How do you go out and find this crew?
Well, in this case, Seth Worley, who had grew up in Nashville and had made a number of short films and commercials and promos, he actually got to work with a lot of the people that he worked with on those projects. And then I, of course, have worked with a number of people as well. So we're able to work with mostly friends.
Well, if you're just joining us, I'm Blake Farmer. This is Nashville. We're talking video productions in Middle Tennessee, and we're streaming on YouTube if you want to join. And we weren't planning on taking comments, but people are talking on the stream. And if you want to leave us a comment, we'll try to work it into the convo right there at the Nashville Public Radio YouTube stream. All right, so Steve Taylor, we just sort of throw around this word producer like everybody knows what that means. What is a producer when you're talking about making a film?
Yes, I was telling Carrie and Gus that producing is filmmaking minus all the fun parts.
Oh, right, like getting it done.
Yes, finding money, working with agents and managers and lawyers. And in this case, Seth Worley, the writer-director, was really ready to make his first movie. And so a lot of my job was just trying to clear the way so that he could do what he does so well.
Yeah. Well, you come from the music world. You had a band. I actually saw you do a big reunion show a couple years ago at the Ryman, and I did not realize how many humongous fans you have. But for a show for another day. What pulled you toward filmmaking, and do you see a lot of crossover in town between music industry and the filmmaking scene?
Yeah, I studied them both in college back at Colorado University in Boulder, and I was a music major and a film minor. And I thought it'd probably be better to have a band in my 20s and be a filmmaker in my 50s than the reverse.
It's all gone to plan.
It's all working. Well, but there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah, and so to the Romeros. I mean, are you all you just getting into film, or just this happens to be one of your first films?
This is our first film.
It is your very first. This is not a business you know well.
No, but we know people, and so that's what we went into it with. We empowered people. That's what we feel. And we're grateful to have had the experience, but we love movies. We bonded over Napoleon Dynamite 20 years ago when we first met. And
Napoleon Dynamite brought you together?
Yes.
What a weird movie. I watched it with my 11-year-old on an airplane, and some of it still holds up.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, we wanted to do something that could bring people together in such a divisive times that we have. Right?
That's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah. And so, we just thought, why not?
Well, film can do that. So how big of a role does Leaper's Fork or other places you all shot play in the film? I mean, would you have any idea where it is, or is it really like a generic place? It is not meant for people to know where you are.
That's a great question. We do address the fact that our lead character is in Tennessee. And Beverly's character plays the role of her mother, named Anne, and she runs a 24/7, 365 Christmas-themed bed and breakfast.
There's the Christmas.
There's the Christmas. And then the events culminate on Christmas Eve as well, or the last scene of the film. But I think that we put it pretty generically. We didn't ever pick a town in Tennessee, but just acknowledging that it is Tennessee because we do love it here. We've been here, goodness, since 2007.
2007, yeah.
And it's, our boys were born here. We have loads of friends here.
What was it like trying to find your way into the film industry? I mean, was there a pretty clear path once you all sort of hopped on?
Well, to be honest, we have to give all the credit to our producer Trey McLarnon of Best Part Productions. He assembled what we like to call a team of Avengers, and because we had a very limited idea of what we were getting into, we had been sort of briefed by our team, Chuck and Lance, about what we were getting into, but we had no idea what all pieces were involved. And we feel so entirely grateful for Trey and everything that he brought into this world and really created an amazing team.
We were told that, the fact that a movie gets made is a miracle. That it gets to that final shot. And we witnessed that, and like the way that everybody comes together once that final scene's done, and it's just like everybody's celebrating, everybody's hugging, crying. I mean, it's just this huge, emotional roller coaster you're on the whole time. But to have such great people kind of guide us through as amateurs, really, and just to see how they work together, the dynamics, the way the crew is some of the hardest working people I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh!
The from every position, the art department, the camera, whatever, everybody
production,
is all in,
camera,
and
everything.
It was
wardrobe,
really eye-opening and really impressive.
Well, you kind of buried the lead that you'd come from the rap party. You didn't say that it was your first rap party that that you threw it and held it and you attended your first rap party.
Yeah.
Steve, I'm interested from your vantage, having done this several times. How uncommon would it be for to go from a year from maybe having an idea to having something that you've already shot? Unusual, I would think.
Well, they all take a long time. This one was actually 8 years from
the sketch did. Yes. Sketch took 8 years. Yeah. What's the story? What is the outline of that story?
So Tony Hale is the star. He's Arrested Development and Veep and Forky and Toy Story 4.
On the Daily Show or something.
Yeah, he was on the Daily Show. He's on Today's Show yesterday on Good Morning America. So we've gotten a lot of publicity. It helps having a star. And he plays the dad of a 10-year-old girl who we find out her mother had died recently. And she's having issues, so he takes her to a counselor, and the counselor finds out Amber likes to draw, and she says, here's a sketchbook, just put all your feelings in this sketchbook. And 10-year-old Amber goes to town and starts drawing all these comically horrific monsters that end up coming to life and terrorizing everybody in a fun, PG, family time away type of way.
Yeah, and what's the takeaway from the film? What is it trying to make a point?
Well, we think that art can be a really good place for kids to express the deepest emotions that they have, and so it's a really beautiful, touching film at the end. It's kind of got it all. It's really funny, it's really thrilling, and it's got a beautiful, touching ending. So, and it's actually, up until yesterday, it was actually at 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. And then I think today some Grinch somewhere of a reviewer decided he didn't like the kids or couldn't understand them or something. I don't know.
Well, you're in the training business as well. You teach. Are you full time at Lipscomb University?
I am. I'm associate professor and filmmaker in residence.
So what is this sort of generation coming up? What are they trying to get into? If a student is in a class of yours at Lipscomb, what direction are they heading?
Yes. Well, the first thing we do is we don't wait until they're juniors or seniors before they get to use the cameras. We give it to them on their first semester, their first day.
But it's about the production of it.
Yes.
This is not acting school over here.
No, but it's a school of theater and cinematic arts. So I tell the students, you have to work with actors. I don't want you to use your friends because I know your friends can't act. So work with the theater students, and that makes it better. And then just, we got to use a lot of students making sketch on other projects that we've done that are commercially available. They get paid for being on the set, and they're also, getting IMDb credits. And by the time they graduate, they've got a resume.
Well, what kind of industry are they sort of stepping into upon graduation that's considerably different than maybe where you got going?
Yes. Well, there is a great entertainment business in Nashville, and we try to make them flexible so that if they get to work on feature films, that's great. If they get to work on series, documentaries, if they get to work on tours where they're creating the video content for that, there's just enough different types of ways to make a living using video and film in Nashville, and we hope to train them in most of them.
Is music video still a big thing in Nashville?
It's still a thing, but the budgets for those have dropped by,
So used to, you might have spent millions of dollars making a music video, and these days they make a music video on the cheap.
Yes, I used to make some of those fairly big music videos, and now that's, yes, that would be a tough way to make a living these days. But it's a great way for students and young people to get into the business, is making music videos and being inventive.
Yeah, well, what's next? So first-time filmmakers, what's next for the Romeros?
Let's get this sold. We actually have another treatment in the works. Well, it's been written. And so we are already starting to kind of put a little plan together with that. And yeah, but we're so grateful. We called ourselves GPs, which is Grateful Producers. And throughout the whole process, we were very lucky to be able to be on set and spread the love. I am team mom, and I embraced every single person on this crew. And our goal was to have, when we started this film, to have everyone leave better than they came in. And we are just, we feel like we did that.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it's beautiful. Carrie and Gus Romero with the film forthcoming Heartbreak, and Steve Taylor with Sketch, which is out today. Thank you for sharing your stories and taking some time with us.
Thank you for having us.
So after the break, we'll hear from folks that are cracking into the business to work in those many jobs behind the scenes. Stay with us. This is Nashville.
Funding for This is Nashville comes from you, our listeners, and Music City Prep Clinic, Nashville-based provider for PrEP, and offering comprehensive sexual health services in an environment designed to be safe, professional, and shame-free. Learn more at musiccityprep.org.
I'm Blake Farmer, and this is Nashville. Well, we're wrapping up our show on film in Middle Tennessee by shining a light on a place where artistry, storytelling, and technique all meet. It's the Academy of Makeup Arts in South Nashville. It's a school where students learn everything from beauty and special effects makeup to costume design and wig making. It's the kind of talent that you need to have in droves if you're going to really be able to attract big productions to an area like Nashville and Tennessee largely. So joining us are three current students, Abby Gullahan, Izzy Christensen, and Lydia Edwards. Welcome to This is Nashville.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, so Lydia, I think you were showing off some pictures from maybe just this morning that you all were working on trying to get someone to look like they have frostbite. Tell me about that.
Yes, that's correct. So I am currently a student in the special effects program right now, or in the special effects class. And one of the first projects we were doing was learning how to emulate and make realistic frostbite. So part of the process with that is doing significant research from credible sources to find what that truly looks like, and then getting instruction from our teacher's assistant and our instructor on how to emulate that using alcohol paints and different techniques of using vinyl and using so many different ingredients that go into it, just so you can get that true finished look and get that beautiful cold look without doing much. I was talking to Josh earlier, and he was saying, or I was telling him about putting the beat and subtle, so finding the little things to make that make sense and really make it read real over film, over a camera, without looking too makeup-y. You want to make it look authentic, and so that's why you do significant research prior.
And the kicker is it's the middle of summer.
Absolutely.
The middle of summer. So to think frostbite in the middle of summer and people sweating outside. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What Lydia didn't say in that story is that her little saying, be the bee in subtle, it took me more than a moment to get that there is a bee in subtle and you don't say it. So, so you're the bee. So tell me about so Izzy, you're all's, when people think of makeup, I think they actually are thinking of one thing, not that you're almost special effects, right? What's the range that you need to learn before being able to really go out and ply your trade on a set?
Yeah, so there's a multitude of different ways to get there. I have the understanding of there's more than one way up the mountain. You have to start somewhere, and so our first day was bruises. We were thrown into the alcohol paint and start doing a black eye. Okay, let's go. We're gonna fall before we fail, or how's it?
Sink, or you sink before you swim.
Something like that. Anyway, yeah.
Lydia does all the references. She's a saying queen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But yeah, I feel. I mean, yeah, there's always growing opportunities and stuff like that. So it comes in waves. There's some subtleties like the bruising and the frostbite, sunburn and stuff like that. But then there is your big coals, like your masks and your prosthetics and their teeth and everything. Wigs come into play. It's something builds on something else all the time.
Abby, are you all kind of cut from the same cloth, or how did you? We're just pulling out sayings here, but same background? What drew you and others to get into this?
I feel like everybody has their own story of how they fell in love with makeup. Like for me, it was middle school. I would just watch YouTube all the time and just try to copy those looks. And I knew from then that I wanted to become a makeup artist.
And by looks, are you talking about conventional looks you might see on the street, or are you saying looks as in, frostbite, bruises,
Yeah, the crazy stuff, the frostbite,
crazy stuff.
The bruises. I love the gory stuff. I'm a big horror movie fan, so that's where all my attention was in that industry. And then I found Academy of Makeup Arts, and here we are.
Well, if you're just joining us, I'm Blake Farmer. This is Nashville. We're talking about the film industry in Middle Tennessee, and right now we're talking about folks who are prepping to get into it by learning the arts of makeup and all that entails when you're on film. We are streaming today. If you want to join us on YouTube, it's the Nashville Public Radio YouTube page, and some comments have been coming in. So feel free to make a comment there, and we'll try to toss it into the conversation here. So, what is a typical day-to-day for a makeup artist on set? Obviously, that's the direction you're headed. But Lydia, what is that job?
Usually, call time tends to be pretty early. So being on film or doing a commercial, they want to max out the hours in the day. You want to get the most of it. So with being in makeup, that's going to be the first thing that you're hopping into. Yeah. So it can start as early as 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. on set, and you'll hurry up and wait. So you hurry up, get everybody done, you get everybody in their makeup, and then they'll go on set and you'll be there on standby to do touch-ups. But then that's with just conventional beauty makeup. That's not to mention any special effects or any bigger looks that are entailed or progression in looks throughout the filming process as well.
Yeah, comment coming through on the YouTube stream. The school, wondering if the school has been able to get you industry connections so you can kind of start working
Absolutely.
on. Really? How does that look?
So one of the what I mentioned earlier about being on set, I did a commercial my first semester through an alumni from the school we had met prior to me joining, and she asked me to be her assistant with Scout Motors. They did a commercial in November of last year, and so I was able to be on set, meet all these amazing people, and get that feel for being in the makeup trailer and that hurrying up, getting everybody in and out of the chair, and just that was such a thrilling experience to get to learn that how much I love this and how much I'm able to connect with people due to it. And so there's also been different connections with the theater world as well, to where you're able to go I think that same semester they did Frozen Junior. Abby, you were a part of that. That was through the school.
Yeah, we worked at Harpeth Hall on Frozen Junior. Me and a couple others did wigs. We designed the wigs for them, and then we got to put them on the day of. It was super fun.
Wow. Izzy, do people come to school to go to the Academy of Makeup Arts? Are people coming from far away? Are they thinking about starting a career in Nashville?
So it really depends on the person and what they want to go for. I actually came from Southern Mississippi. Okay. So, and there's some other people from New York. We're a little bit of everywhere and finding our home here. There's definitely people that have stayed and worked, and there's people that definitely have gone out and gone places. I do think this is the best school in the South for special effects makeup. We have so many different opportunities and like things that not everyone gets to do that you think of.
Well, what do people consider like going to Hollywood is the thing to do, or is it like, oh, I'm going to go to Atlanta, or where?
It really depends on like the person and what they want to do. So like my dream job is to work for SNL. I want to be a makeup artist on SNL. So
oh man, that would be.
Yeah.
It's amazing. For folks who maybe don't watch Saturday Night Live much, why would SNL be such a gig?
So I have a theater background in theater, so the fast-paced environment of it all is something that I long for. And doing makeup and prosthetics like that, it covers everything that I want and more. I mean, I'm not a girl to put all my eggs in one basket, but shoot, for SNL, I sure will. So,
well, what is it? We've been talking on the show about kind of ups and downs of the film industry. What's it like to be kind of jumping with both feet into an industry that best case scenario is still going to be kind of project to project and kind of up and down, a freelancer kind of lifestyle?
That's just kind of how it rolls.
Yeah.
I mean, you take what's given to you, and if you can't work on it, you give it to someone else. Like my one of my friends and colleagues gave me one of her short films the other day, and I worked on it for her. And so I have some other gigs coming up, but with work and stuff, I was like, hey, I have this opportunity. I want you to go out. I've had the opportunity. Communication and like connections is what makes this school so special. Like we really are a family there. I've only met Lydia and Abby last year, and now I'm like, hey, you're coming over tonight and we're working on this together.
Wow. Well, it is so focused, as I'm sure as other people think of their training that they might have had after high school. Sometimes it's so broad, but yours is so focused on the one thing. Lydia, what's it like to? I wonder what inspired you to head down this path.
So really what inspired me to head down this path was just a love for makeup growing up. I had done dance and loved the makeup and that feeling of being on stage.
I see.
And then I did theater in high school. And my senior year, I was the witch in Into the Woods. And we had all these prosthetics for me to put on to become the witch. And then
prosthetics in a high school production?
I had to put them on myself and had to cut them down and apply and figure it out myself. It wasn't my best work by any means, but the opportunity to become somebody entirely other than myself was something that I fell in love with. I loved the fact that something so simple was able to convey a different story entirely than who I am myself. And so that storytelling is what continued me on. I loved the art of storytelling through acting, but I fell in love with the little moments where you're able to just change somebody's coloration just a little bit and like putting on foundation or literally anything. The fact that you're able to tell a story through your makeup is what brought me to this. And I'm able to make connections and to tell the emotions of what needs to be learned and heard through that. And in order to have all these films, you have to start with that makeup because it's just to get you on the camera. So it's those little things that put you into who you want to convey. And that's what I fell in love with the most.
Well, Abby, you said you were drawn to these YouTube videos where you could, make something, kind of the I don't know if it was all gruesome stuff, but that's what I was hearing. What's sort of the capstone, that you've got to learn when you're at, learning makeup to be on a set? Is it kind of for the gory movie? Is that kind of the ultimate when it comes to makeup?
For me, that's the ultimate goal. They start you out like at the very beginning. You learn just the base makeup, and then you go from there. You do beauty, and then you get to the special effects. And for me, I love to do it all. I love all of it, the beauty, makeup, the gory stuff. But the gory is definitely where I want to end up.
So is it a makeup artist who, like, if there's blood involved, it's probably them. It's not someone who's on the special effects side of things.
It just depends. It can be just a regular makeup artist. It can be a special effects artist. It just kind of depends.
Well, final question. Is Nashville a place that someone right now can stay busy in hair and makeup? Is this a place that you could sort of drop in and get a career going?
You can definitely begin a career. It always depends upon a person's dreams. There's music videos that are happening here, short films, different colleges have great opportunities to get that baseline to start. And I can definitely tell that the industry has been growing significantly here locally. Hearing about the films that have been coming in, the earlier gentleman had talked about there were 7 different films happening presently in Nashville right now, which is such a beautiful thing to know that my hometown is growing in such a way. And so there's definitely opportunity for people to stay here locally. But I think a lot of us have big dreams of starting here and getting baseline, getting that opportunities to begin and making connections to go elsewhere, to get a connection to go to Atlanta. But I can tell this industry it's inching over here. It's coming. It's on its way here.
Well, it's what we've been talking about all hour. Abby Gullahan, Izzy Christensen, Lydia Edwards from the Academy of Makeup Arts, all students in the thick of their learning. Thank you for taking a break and joining us today on This is Nashville.
Thank you.
All right, and thanks to all for listening, tuning in this hour. This is Nashville, which is a non-makeup production, is from Nashville Public Radio. Today's episode was produced by Josh Deepen. It was directed by Tasha A.F. Limley, who's also managing our video stream back there, I think. Our board operator is Liv Lombardi. Masterminds behind our theme music are Larange and Namir Blade. You can listen back at thisisnashville.org or wherever you get good podcasts. It's also easy to ask a smart speaker to play the latest episode, and the video stream I keep talking about is archived at the Nashville Public Radio YouTube channel. Conversation does not have to end right here. You can comment, tell us what you want to hear on the show by leaving us a message the old-fashioned way at 615-751-2500. You can also find us on Blue Sky, Instagram, X, at This Is Nashville. This is Nashville. I'm Blake Farmer. Go in peace.